Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Accent Training Podcast, our first accent training session of the year. My name is Pat. I'm your personal American accent coach, and today I'm following up with something I discussed in a couple of recent episodes about the oi sound. We looked at the mouth movements that are necessary to produce this. First, you round your lips like oh. Then you pull your jaw up and you relax your lips like yee. Combine those two sounds, making the O strong and the yee fading, oi. And you will have a crystal clear diphthong sound. Now, starting today, I want you to be using this in real life with the idiomatic expressions that I'm going to teach you about right now. So let's get to the point. And that is our first idiom right there, to get to the point. To focus on the main issue or the main idea without all the unnecessary details. Let's get to the point. Now, when I'm pronouncing that word point, I'm not pronouncing it so slow like point when I say it naturally, point. But I am making that full oi movement. Now, point is one of the highest priority words for this low priority sound. Because there are many idiomatic expressions that use the word point, such as point out, meaning to make clear. Let me point out a few more for you. There's beside the point, means it's irrelevant to the current topic of discussion, or a point of no return. A certain stage where you can no longer go back or reverse a decision. You have to move forward. A point of no return. So I hope it's clear to you that I'm trying to make a point of this. I'm deliberately ensuring that I emphasize the importance of the word point. So make sure that you're keeping an ear open for that to keep your English skills on point, my friend. Now, I got one more with point for you. Are you ready for this? Moot point. Moot point. Have you ever heard of this? This means that a topic or a question or an issue is no longer significant or worth discussing because it's been resolved. So it's like if someone comes to argue with you about something that's already been fixed. It's a moot point. Let's practice it right now in a office kind of context. The deadline's passed, so the question of extending it is now a moot point. It's like saying there's no point in asking for an extension. The deadline's already passed. Or whether we could have fixed that earlier is a moot point. We've already finished the project. Again, you're just saying, it doesn't matter if we could have fixed that earlier. The project's already done. Why discuss this further? I recommend using this in real life. Don't overuse it. You don't want to be known as the moot point person, someone who's always calling everything a moot point. That's going to get annoying. But be prepared to use it. Because I guarantee you, if you say moot point to Americans and you use it correctly, people will look at you as a high-level English speaker. This way, you can get your point across and sound professional at the same time. And there we have another wonderful idiomatic expression, to get your point across. To make others understand your idea clearly. Now, I think I've made my point that point is a high priority word for this low priority sound. There aren't a lot of important words that use the oi sound, but point is one of them. Point is certainly one of them. All right, next idiom without point. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Now think about this on your car. If one of your wheels are squeaking, it's going to catch your attention and you're going to take care of it. Your other wheels might need oil as well, but you're going to take care of the one that's squeaking before any of the others. Now take that same situation to the workplace. If you make one request to HR or management, you may be ignored. But if you make one request per day to HR or management, you will likely be served. That's how the squeaky wheel gets the oil. It's kind of a description of what you're seeing happening. You're seeing someone complain a lot, they get attention, and you say, yeah, well, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And you get that clear oi when you say oil. So at the end of the day, developing the oi diphthong pronunciation all boils down to just mastering a few key words with this. That's what it boils down to. And that's our final idiom of the day. Boils down to. This is to say the most essential aspect of learning the oi sound is not to get every single word with oi perfectly. Because really a lot of words using oi are low priority words. What it boils down to is identifying the words that you actually need and working on your oi sound for those words and putting those words into idioms. Ideally, idioms that are going to help you do your job better. Maybe you could say something like, the decision boils down to our monthly budget. Or what do you think our top priorities really boil down to? Now, I know I gave you a lot of idiomatic expressions here today. I don't expect you to use all of them at once. It'll start to feel a little overwhelming for you. I recommend starting with the word point. That has enough that you could work with. If you just use some of the idioms that we discussed here today, I think we talked about like 5 or 6 with point. If you just start with 1 or 2 of those, that'll point you in the right direction. And if you feel that any of the other idioms will oil the wheels a little bit for you in English conversation, then it all boils down to what you're most comfortable with. So continue practicing American idiomatic expressions. I'm going to continue recording and editing American accent training podcast episodes for you. And together we're going to change the world for the better by helping you and everyone around you express yourselves clearly in the American accent. Have a good one, folks.